everyone, Cherise here, and I am back with my October 2021 Plan With Me video. I am so excited to share what I came up for my October bullet journal spreads, so without further ado, let's jump right into the setup. If you remember my September bullet journal setup, I took a break from painting and coloring, but this month I'm going back to painting and I'm gonna be using gouache paints. I didn't imagine myself using it again, but here I am for the second time. The tools I'm using are as usual listed in the video description, and I'm still working on my notebook therapy Tsuki Nara journal. And before painting right away, I always sketch it out first with a pencil. I will be doing a coffee and cozy fall or autumn theme. I'm super excited about doing this theme because I'm a coffee lover and I wanted to incorporate that into my favorite season, which is autumn. We don't have autumn in our country, but for me, it is a state of mind. So I started by securing the frame of the painting with a masking tape to create a clean, straight edges, and then I prepped my paints on my palette. There is burnt sienna, titanium white, yellow ochre, lemon yellow, viridian, and mauve. I'm actually painting with a reference photo that I saw from Pinterest. When I saw it, it's absolutely the kind of vibe I'm going for in this setup. I know there are so many elements in this picture, but trust me, it's achievable if we do it one element at a time. So I'm painting the coffee first with a latte art. I mixed burnt sienna and yellow ochre to achieve that espresso color, and then I'm using my detailed brush to paint the base while avoiding the pattern steamed milk, or what is called microfoam. The pattern I'm painting here is called rosette or rosetta, which is one of the common forms of poured latte art. Using a masking fluid to avoid the patterns would be a nice option, but since the pattern on this painting is very small, I decided to just paint it straight away and follow the sketch. Latte art are supposed to be symmetrical on both sides of the center line, but I also got carried away while painting the pattern. Also, using a detailed brush makes it easier to achieve this pattern in a very small space, and basically any small details which I wish I've learned in the past. But after trying it, it definitely made improvements in showcasing the details of the painting. And then I painted the rim of the ceramic cup with white and outlined the shape of it with gray. I also added the same shade of gray to give more dimension to the cup and to emphasize where the light reflects. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record for that step, but don't worry, there will be another one later on. Then I moved on to the saucer with the same colors I used for the cup. I'm adding the gray shade on the saucer in the middle towards the cup to give it more depth. I also wanted to create that rose gold edge on the saucer and the teaspoon as seen on the picture. So I'm taking burnt sienna here mixed with a lot of water so the base is lighter, and then I'm gradually adding a darker shade of burnt sienna or just more pigment and less water to the darker areas of the edges of the saucer. As for the teaspoon, I decided to mix a different shade using viridian, lemon yellow, and mauve to create a brown shade with tint of purple. And then it's time to add speckles on the cup and saucer using black paint. I think ceramics are really beautiful, especially with speckles on them, and I also think I added so much here. Now, a final touch to the coffee painting is white lining on the left part of the latte art to make it pop a little bit more. The next element I moved on to is maple leaf that is sitting almost on top of the cup using the same mixture of paint I used for the coffee, but I added a bit of water and then I intensified the edges to create that crisp look of the leaf with a darker tone. On the right hand side of the coffee saucer is a walnut in halves. At first I was confused what these are in the picture, so I had to look it up. I might sound funny, but it's my first time to see walnuts in shells, to be honest. Anyway, I'm using the same brown color again for the nut shell. I think I'm only using 3 or 4 neutral colors for this painting, which is very much convenient as I wouldn't need to mix a lot of colors. I painted the background with white and brown pigments left on the larger brush I used to mix it with, and then I started working on the blanket above and the knitted sweaters. Knitted sweaters has these textured patterns, so the detailed brush will be the best one to use. I just outlined it and did several horizontal lines, and then I added crisscross patterns in these lines alternately. Now I'm going downwards to paint some dried flowers and the continuation of the sweater. In the photo, all these things are sitting on top of a book, but I know I can't paint the letters of the book precisely, so I just scribbled on it and make it look like a diary. And after 10 years, the painting is finally done, but we're not quite done yet. I also added a frame around it using the fine tip of my Tombow brush pen in saddle brown. And then I'm using craft paper again in this setup, and I happen to have this craft paper bag. I'm just gonna place a small torn piece on the bottom of the frame, and that is where I'm going to write the monthly title using a white paint pen. I'm specifically using this Archer and Olive acrylograph pen, and then I'm finishing this cover page with a black drop shadow on the title using the Sakura Pigmamicron fine liner. And that is the cover page finally done for real. I feel like I could work a little more with this first painting, but I had to stop, otherwise it will take forever to finish. Anyway, now we can move on to the left side of the spread. As usual, I like to create a quote page alongside the cover page, but you can totally leave everything here and move on to the next spreads. I sketched a different picture for this quote page, but since the cover page already did a lot, I changed it to something simpler and minimal to complement it. The quote I chose is, "Home is where the heart is," which is just the perfect words for this cozy theme. And that is it for this first spread of my October setup. Now let's move on to the next spread. I'm drawing the same brown frame as well to the rest of the setup. Then on the left page, I'm creating the monthly calendar. I'm using the same pen to make a solid background for the days of the week. And then I'm using the Tombow in sand color to outline the calendar itself. I thought it would be fun to fill it with color this time, so I used a lighter shade for that. Then I'm using a white gel pen to draw the grid of the calendar as well as the days of the week and the micron fine liner for the dates of this month. Below the calendar is a space to write the goals for the month by drawing another frame and a small title on top of a craft paper again. Then for the title of the page itself, I'm using the craft paper as well and wrote October on it. On the other side is a place for me to write my focus for each week, just something to try again this month to remind me of the things I need to concentrate with at the time. But after that, we are moving on to the second painting of this setup. I'm painting this mug of coffee with a stag on it, on top of books, surrounded with comfy knitted sweaters and blankets by the window. It's almost a similar painting with the coffee and books gouache painting video I did back then, and the only struggle I had here was painting the stag because I'm not that confident with painting animals, so I had to do it really slowly. I had to go over the body a few times to make sure I'm not painting it too light or too dark, but also leaving the features of the stag prominent here. Other than that, the rest of the details are easier as they are almost the same as the cover page, but in just a different angle. So now that the monthly calendar, goals, and focus pages are done, we can flip through to the next one to set up a content planner spread. If you are not using a content planner, you can definitely modify this into a different spread, such as master to-do list or monthly budget trackers like so. This whole spread won't have any painting stuff as well, and that is totally fine. Not every spread has to have all the mediums used in other spreads for the whole setup. Just take a few design elements and colors from the previous pages and it will still be on theme. On the left page is a socials tracker for my YouTube and bullet journaling Instagram using craft papers and patterned washi tapes on top. You can find all the spreads up close as well as the ones I'm creating for the rest of the month from there. On the other half of this page is a content related to-do lists. I also added a sticker of fall leaves that I took from my very first stationery haul. I'm going to show some more of that later on. But now on the right side of the page is the content planner title and the content calendar, which is totally different layout I'm experimenting this month than my previous ones. And then finally, to complete this spread is a cotton plant sticker. And that's it for this whole content planner with socials tracker and content to-do list spread. We can now move on again to set up my habit and mood trackers. I started with the titles first, and this is actually similar to my August habit and mood trackers. The habits will be on the left side with 8 boxes with 6 by 7 dot spacing. I also like to keep the layout of the boxes in the setup pretty much the same. Then I'm just writing the habits with my white pen on top of the boxes. Now onto a small painting on the bottom corner is a pumpkin spice latte held with both hands, which is also a very fall or autumn picture. I just painted a pumpkin on the center of the mug and then I just outlined the whipped cream with light gray since it is white in general. Good thing only the thumbs are visible in this painting because I honestly suck with drawing or painting hands. I also wish I put less pressure with painting the speckles because they looked kind of awkward here, but it's already there. I'll see if I can mend that later on. And then I continued to the mood tracker. I will be using the color wheel kind of layout again this month, so I instantly thought of doing a cup and saucer design for it. I just did the same painting technique as the one from the cover page, then I divided the saucer into 31. I will be adding the dates afterwards because I honestly forgot again like the last time. Now for the moods, I decided to add a few and more specific type of emotions. So there is happy, content, reflective, bored, anxious, and sad moods associated with different warm colors. And that is all for this habit and mood trackers. I hope you liked this layout as well. But now let's proceed to the next one. I also like to include shopping list and package tracker again this month, so I'm just simply drawing 2 horizontal boxes for each. And then I'm dividing each into 3. The categories in my shopping list is groceries, things to buy online, and others. Then on the package tracker are items from where it is coming from and whether it is shipped or received. The other side of the spread will be a brain dump basically, but I renamed it as thoughts section, where I can just get ideas and not so urgent tasks out of my head just to help declutter my mind and thoughts. I'm adding some more autumnal stickers here and there. Then I'm gonna be painting another mug of pumpkin spice latte here with several imperfect pumpkin line designs. And that finishes this shopping list, package tracker, and thoughts pages. Now we are down to the last but definitely not the least spread I'll be making in this video, which is the first weekly spread. I started by drawing 6 boxes for the daily tasks. I combined the weekends here just like the previous month. And then I added week 41 on a craft paper as the title of the spread. Then there will also be a section for some notes on the right side. Maybe I'll add a mini calendar later on, but for now, let's do one final painting in this video, which is just a smaller version of the flat lay cover page picture with different placements of the blanket and sweaters added with a few pumpkins. painting finally completes this whole October bullet journal setup. But before we do the final flip through of the spreads, I wanted to announce that I'm hosting a birthday giveaway in this video that is kindly sponsored by the lovely Notebook Therapy. I also wanted to show you these gorgeous items that they sent me from their Tea Party collection. There are 3 Tsuki notebook designs and 2 washi tape sets in this collection. I have here the Cup of Galaxy holographic washi set and holographic notebook that came with an adorable wooden stamp featuring their very own Nori. The other designs are Ichigo and Matcha Matcha that are equally stunning. And if you wish to purchase anything from Notebook Therapy, you can always use my affiliate code CHERISE10 for 10% off. I am so happy to collaborate with them in this special occasion where one of you will win a Tsuki notebook and a washi tape of choice. So please check out the description box for all the giveaway rules on how to enter, and I wish everyone joining the best of luck. Finally, here's the flip through of my October 2021 bullet journal setup. I know this has been quite a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it and found some new ideas and layouts to try on your own bullet journal. If you'd like to see more Plan With Me videos from me, I'd recommend subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a happy month of October. I will see you on my next one. Bye!